Show starts now.
Coming up on GMS, we'll tell you what all the buzz is about at the Leon County Jail.
Plus, Habitat for Humanity unveiling 2 new homes in Tallahassee yesterday. We'll take you there coming up.
Good morning, everyone. Thanks so much for joining us today on the Good Morning Show. I'm Lenitra Bennett.
I'm Rob Nugadola. Good to have you back.
Yes.
Are we feeling better? You sound better.
Yeah, I'm so glad I sound much better. That's for sure.
A little rest will
yeah.
do you wonders. A little rest will do you wonders.
Yes,
All
yes,
right.
yes.
Well, let's get started. Got plenty to talk about. First things first. Let's start with some news this morning. The weather's going to be just fine. Another beautiful day on tap. But here, let's start here with continuing coverage this morning. Former Tallahassee Mayor and Florida gubernatorial candidate Andrew Gillum on trial beginning yesterday. The government's star witness taking the stand. Now, the undercover FBI agent detailing a now infamous trip to New York City, and jurors getting a chance to listen to some of those secret recordings. Stacey Inez has more.
Well, court wrapped up around 5:30 this afternoon, and we spent a lot of time today hearing undercover recordings from those FBI agents on a trip to New York. That was discussed heavily today. Now, Agent Mike Miller saying they knew Gillum would be in New York back in August of 2016, so they also arranged to be there, and that's when he paid for Gillum's one-night hotel stay and also 5 Hamilton tickets that totaled $2,500. Now, agents testified saying they wanted to meet with Gillum somewhere outside of Tallahassee to get him to relax, as he was still the mayor and people locally recognized his face. Now, that New York trip also included a boat ride organized by Agent Miller. We learned today in court that there were also 3 other undercover agents on that boat, including the captain. Now, that trip was with Andrew Gillum, colleague Adam Corey, and Gillum's brother Marcus. Agents also testified that they had undercover recordings during the entire Hamilton show, which is when they met Gillum's brother Marcus for the first time. Another thing we learned today in court, that Marcus was actually the person who introduced Sharon Letman Hicks's company, PNP Communications, to the undercover FBI agents when they expressed interest in wanting to donate anonymously to Gillum's campaign for governor. So a lot to break down. Of course, we will continue following the developments. They're expected to continue cross-examining the undercover FBI agent tomorrow morning in court, and we'll be following all of those details as this trial progresses. For now, in federal court, Stacey Inez, WCTV Eyewitness News.
And the trial could last for 3 to 4 weeks, and our Stacey Inez will be there reporting from the courthouse each day. Sketch artist Christopher Rivera will be giving us a glimpse inside, and you can stay updated throughout the day on WCTV.tv and inside the WCTV News app. Get it for free now through your phone or tablet's app store.
5:02 now. A South Georgia mother is outraged. She says her son experienced discrimination after trying out for the Cook County High Cheer competition team. Reporter Lena Allen spoke to the mother and is taking a closer look at the school policy.
I was really surprised, and then after I found out it was because it was my gender, I was more confused.
Malik Vickers tried out for the Cook High School competition cheer team for next year, but was told this year the team would not be co-ed. That's when his mom took action to search for answers, because her oldest son, Jalen, was just on the team last season. Jalen also says he suffered some discrimination.
And the fact that they're trying to come back and now put him on the team, you can't undo that hurt.
I did look up the Cook County Cheer Team's division on the Georgia High School Association's website, and as you can see here, they are listed as a co-ed team. That prompted me to reach out to the high school and ask why they originally told Ms. Walden they were no longer going to be a co-ed team. I only received this quote that reads, "We are aware of this situation and we are in the process of reviewing our policies and procedures as we move forward." I looked up the Cook High School Student Handbook, which does list a gender equity in sports code. It reads, "State law prohibits discrimination based on gender in athletic programs of local school systems." But Title IX does not cover cheerleading. Ms. Walden tells me there needs to be a change.
Boys already deal with a lot in society as is, and to see them experience that discrimination according to their gender is hurtful.
In national news, 30 years ago today, a small Texas community was at the center of a tragic end to a standoff that drew global attention. A 51-day-long standoff between the religious sect, the Branch Davidians, and federal authorities came to a fiery end near Waco, Texas, back on April 19th, 1993. 4 federal agents and 82 Branch Davidian members, including 24 children, died in a violent confrontation and fire. It started on February 28th that year when ATF agents tried to arrest David Koresh for stockpiling illegal weapons. But Koresh and Branch Davidian members refused to leave the compound. There was a shootout and a 7-week-long standoff. More than a dozen surviving Branch Davidian members were later charged for that deadly shootout at the compound.
Today also marking 28 years since the Oklahoma City bombing. On April 19th, 1995, a rental truck filled with explosives was detonated outside a federal building. It killed 168 people and injured several hundred more. 2 former U.S. Army soldiers, Timothy McVeigh and Terry Nichols, were convicted of the attack. The attack was viewed by them as retribution for the deadly federal raid on the Waco compound Rob just mentioned. McVeigh was convicted and executed by lethal injection in 2001. Nichols was also convicted and is serving the rest of his life in prison in a federal super maximum security prison.
All right, new this morning, the Federal Trade Commission says it's working to address concerns linking social media to mental health issues in teenagers. Tuesday, the FTC commissioner testifying on Capitol Hill saying there's evidence suggesting some uses of social media do hurt certain groups of teens and children. He also cautioned important nuances and caveats in the research. The commissioner announcing the agency is working to hire in-house psychologists to look at these concerns, sharing that the FTC is consulting with public health officials and medical professionals to understand the available scientific evidence on the matter.
And new this morning, the U.S. Secret Service was caught off guard by a tiny intruder who infiltrated White House grounds yesterday. Take a look. The agency says a toddler set off security alerts when the child crawled through the fence on the north side of the White House. Secret Service officers responded quickly and reunited the child with their parents. This is not the first time a child has put Secret Service on alert. Back in 2014, a toddler squeezed through the White House fence, prompting a temporary lockdown. Former President Barack Obama was forced to delay his address to the nation on Iraq.
All right, closer to home, inmates in Leon County are getting a new job opportunity that's creating some buzz. The Leon County Sheriff's Office selecting 3 inmates to earn beekeeping certificates, and they're responsible for taking care of 10 hives in hopes that they'll be able to follow that career track when they're released, including getting their own beehives when they're out.
These inmates who are engaged in this occupation now can take these skill sets and take them to other places in our community. In fact, be employed and have employable skills where they can start their own business. And that's what it's all about in the Leon County Sheriff's Office.
Sheriff McNeil says there are roughly 8,700 beekeeping jobs just in North Florida alone.
And turning dreams into reality. Yesterday, Big Bend Habitat for Humanity officially handing over the keys to 2 new homes. Our camera was there for the ceremony as 2 families now marking the next chapter in their lives. As with any Habitat for Humanity home, the recipient, in this case William Young, rolled up his sleeves to earn 400 sweat equity hours, working alongside his now neighbor, Luann Winters. Habitat for Humanity providing the furniture and appliances for the Winters and Young homes. The ceremony, in Young's words, was special, surrounded by friends and family. And now with a 3-bed, 2-bath home to call their own, he says his family is grateful.
It was just a big surprise. Like, I wasn't expecting any of this, but I appreciate it all. My kids are gonna appreciate it. I can't wait until my daughter comes home so she can see her room. My son comes home and see his room. It's just beautiful because I never expected all this.
The City Commission supplies $60,000 per house through their partnership with Habitat for Humanity. Former Florida State running back Warrick Dunn's charity, also instrumental in these projects. William and Luann are Dunn's 213th and 214th homeowners. Awesome. Congratulations to them. All right, 9 minutes after the hour, and Rob, how's it looking out there? It felt kind of cool a little bit to me, but you know.
Oh, it definitely felt a little cool out there.
Yeah.
Almost as cool as it was yesterday morning when we saw numbers way back down near 40. Today they're more up close to 50. That's definitely a little bit on the cool side. Mid-50s is normal at this point in April. And I do think maybe tomorrow we'll see those temperatures inch up a little bit more, both morning and afternoon. It stayed pretty comfortable yesterday. We topped out someplace around 82, 83. I think today we're going to beat that by a couple degrees too. Still lots of sunshine. Now there's actually a little upper level disturbance passing by to the south. Higher pressure at the surface is going to give this a tough time. So I don't expect much from this. Outside, maybe a couple of high thin clouds kind of passing over that bubble of high pressure. But for the most part today is still going to be about sunshine around here, and our temperatures are going to move quite a bit. This morning it's a lot of upper 40s and low 50s. Quincy's at 48 degrees. Camilla's at 49. So is Valdosta. It's 53 in Tallahassee and in Perry. It's just 50 for us in Thomasville this morning. Now, the breeze, not really noticeable, but trying to make that turn more towards the northeast and east. And as that happens, we will start to see a little change in the composition of the air. Start to bring in a little bit more moisture as those winds turn more east and southeast. And then we're going to have to see if this boundary is ever able to get here. It's starting to feel more and more like the real juice associated with that boundary is going to stay well to the north. I'll keep some chances for showers in the mix this weekend. Nobody's weekend's going to be a washout. We'll have to see if we get some showers maybe later in the day on Saturday. For the time being, getting a little bit warmer today, tomorrow, and Friday. Starting to pick up a few clouds as those temperatures climb into the middle and upper 80s.